Hello, I'm Nicholas Hanush, and I'd like to show you my new game, LukeWarm.
LukeWarm is a 4-player only, asymmetrical, logical deduction area movement game that is for ages 10 and up and plays in about 45 minutes. The story involves 4 characters. We have the sun and the wind. They're trying to go and have a rematch from before, like in the Fable. The wind is trying to prove it's stronger than the sun. This time they pick a new target. This boy Luke, who's just trying to enjoy a day on the lake. He's now trying to run for his life and get safely back home. But he encounters the 3 bears on his way. And the 3 bears are quite hungry, and they're wanting to have a guest over for dinner. So, each player will be one of these characters. If you're Luke, your goal is quite simple. You're just trying to get across the board from start to home without getting burned or frozen or eaten. If you're the wind, your goal is to get this thermometer all the way down to the bottom, and if you're the sun, your goal is to get the thermometer all the way to the top. This happens by having the Luke marker land on hot stones, which makes the temperature go up, or cold stones, that makes the temperature go down. The bears will eat him only if he's the right temperature and he lands on their space. The Luke player has to use deduction to get across safely because he cannot see the board. That is the twist. He will be behind the screen the whole time and has to listen to clues from the other players so that he'll know what safe decisions to make. Also, while all the players know who Luke is, Luke will not know who the other players are. It's important that the other players, who do know who each other are, work together in some ways to get across. The sun and the wind can use the bear as a valuable temporary ally to try to achieve their victory. During the non-Luke phase, the other players each get 2 turns, and they can choose from 4 actions. They can either move or place a stone on the board, they can choose to turn a wheel, they can choose to do nothing in order to go and put extra stones on a future turn, or they can use one of their special abilities that have a limited amount of uses. The sun can go and place the warm marker down so that if Luke lands on it, he goes from being chilly to being warm. The wind can go and freeze a circle so that it cannot be turned for that round. And the bears can do the Goldilocks effect, where they move Luke from a place that's too hot or too cold to a place that's just right. Then, after each of the non-Luke players has had 2 turns each, comes the clue phase, where they must say one objectively true statement about what is directly in front of the pass of the Luke marker, so that Luke will have an idea of if his pass is safe or not. They can say you're getting hotter if there are red stones in front of him. They can say you're getting colder if there are blue stones in front of him. They can say you're getting very hot, very cold, or very warm, depending on what kind of bear space is in front of him. Or they can say you're all clear if there's nothing in front of him at all. That they must bluff with the truce, meaning they can say any statement about what's in front of him as long as it is directly in front of him, although it may not be what's exactly in the next space in front of him.
You're getting colder.
You're getting very cold.
You're getting hotter.
Next up is the Luke phase, so Luke is still behind his screen, and he has to ask the players to do his actions for him based on the clues that he has figured out. He can do up to 4 actions. He can ask them to rotate his circle, or to take up to 2 stones off of a spot if he can guess correctly what's on them, or to move his piece any direction 1 space, or he can go and ask a question to somebody in the following form. Excuse me, Maria, can you please tell me, would Dan be happy if I were to take a space forward?
Yes.
All right. And then using these clues, Luke can figure out if the board is safe and make his decisions accordingly, and also try to figure out who the other players are. Lastly, the Luke screen is taken away, and he can finally see what has happened to the board. Any temperature tokens are now applied. The red and blues cancel each other out, and his temperature goes up or down. If he is on a bear and he's the correct temperature, he'll be taken out of the game, and the bears will win. Otherwise, the sun and wind will win if he is the correct temperature for them to win. If Luke gets across the board safely, then he's the winner. So that is LukeWarm, a fun, interactive game of pure strategy that I look forward to getting you to play soon. Please have some fun with it, and I thank you for your time.